Hello to my Capricorns. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Capricorns, hopefully everybody had a successful 7/7 portal opening and closing. It opened up on July 4th and then it closed on July 11th. And I did put some information over on, I want to say I put some on TikTok and I did. Yeah, I think I put some information on TikTok and I put some information on the YouTube shorts. I try to keep everybody up to date as to what's going on, like how to close out portals, what's retrograde, affirmations, that kind of thing. I try to keep this community up, up to date with everything that's going on. So yeah, retrograde. What goes retrograde next? I want to say Mercury. I think we're in pre-shadow Mercury retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde in Leo soon. Right now, Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius. And so everybody's breaking generational cycles, chains, and curses. The entire planet is under judgment because Pluto is in Aquarius. So that just means, in just kind of in short, in lay terms, that because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is the Fool card, and it's also ruled by Saturn, your ruling planet as well, that as you are setting new traditions and rules and guidelines and boundaries, there are going to be some people who are going to try to think that you're foolish. They're going to believe that you're being rebellious and that you're being foolish for taking on whatever responsibility source gave you to break some kind of generational cycle, chain, or curse. Think of it this way. Let's say you're the first millionaire in your family, or let's say you're the first person to go to college and finish, or you're the first Grammy winner in your family, or you're the first doctor, and you're in a family of musicians in your family. Anything that it seems like you're rebelling against, you're going against the grain in your family. Maybe you're the first person who openly says that I watch tarot when everybody could be secretly watching it, But sources saying whatever it is that you're doing, you're breaking some kind of generational cycle, chain, and curse. And people are going to think that you're being rebellious, but guess what? That's everybody, literally everybody. And so that's where that's where Neptune being retrograde in Aries is going to come in. Because you're going to feel like, okay, I don't know what to believe. I feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like I'm delusional, right? But you're not going delusional, right? Some people may be trying to make you believe that, you're rebelling against the grain and everybody else is doing something in your family. No, no, that's what prayer is for. That's what you're going to go straight to source and talk to source about it. Source, tell me exactly what my generational cycle, chain, and curse is. And again, make sure you're pouring into yourself. That's knowing your moon sign. Find out, how to nurture your moon. That's going to, for your birth chart, you don't need your time of birth. There are people on planet Earth that don't know what time they were born, and that's okay. So you don't need your time of birth for your birth chart. Go to Google and then type in how to nurture whatever your moon sign is. Boom, some information is going to populate. Get into it, learn it, so that when people are challenging why you're breaking some kind of generational cycle, chain, and curse, the way that you're breaking it in a very unique way, that's the whole purpose of the moon being in, Pluto being in Aquarius, because Aquarius is a very kind of quirky zodiac sign, but Pluto is in Aquarius. It's just like kind of tearing down everybody's way of thinking. Everybody's supposed to do something a particular way, right? And it's throwing everybody off. Like, why are they doing it this way? Why are they breaking some kind of generational cycle chain this way? That's why people are talking about secret societies, because you're hearing so many people talk about it, because now it's becoming, a conversation. People are learning about secrets, numbers, and occult knowledge and metaphysics, and people are openly talking about things. So, source is saying to you, let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. So, tons of information out there for you all to go take a look at. But everybody is breaking generational cycle chains and curses in their own way. But you always want to go to source first, pray and meditate, and source will show you in your own unique way. But you're closing out a cycle in love. Closing out the cycle in love. That's right, in love. See that big heart right there? In love, right? Not in hate. No hate. Nope, no hate. You want to vibrate so high that if people want to vibrate on a low frequency of hatred, it won't even touch you. It immediately return to sender, spell work. Immediately it returns to sender. Closing out a cycle in love. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. You all roll 10th house. 10th house is about career and vocation. The 10th house is a place of culmination and fruition. It describes our public image, shaping what we do for a living and our role in a wider world. Here we reach for achievement and success and towards a true calling, towards our true calling in life. What is your true calling in life? That's your 10th house. You're going to find it in your birth chart. 10th house. Your sign rules 10th house, but your zodiac sign may not be. Taurus is involved in something. You could have Taurus somewhere in your birth chart. Taurus rules second house. So you're going to have an innate spiritual understanding of something, right? You're going to have an innate spiritual understanding of something. So yeah, your sun sign could be Capricorn, but your 10th house could be a different sign, right? So look up your birth chart, get to know it. Since this moon is a full moon, we're still in the full moon phase. This is where you really want to double down. With that portal 7-11 just closed, which is still fine. We got another portal 8-8 is going to open up. It starts opening up a couple of days prior to its peak, which is 8-8, and it stays open for a couple of days after that. That information will be on my second channel. That's the knowledge channel. So again, this is a general reading. Take only what resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, my information is down below. But when you close out cycles in love, leave no room for hate. None. Zero, zip, zilch. Okay, what people say, they can think and say what they want to say. Just operate in love if you can. Just not acting like you don't have emotions. If you feel like crying or you're angry or upset, but choose love. Choose to vibrate high, right? Again, you are rule 10th house. And so find out what your sign is and so yeah, here we have the Two of Wands here. Yeah. So when Aries is behind something in your teenage years, something happened that was done behind your back in your teenage years, right? Some kind of lie and Aries told behind your back in your teenage years. At a church, some kind of an Aries says something about you, some kind of lie behind your back. So some kind of lie behind your back. You could have been waiting for a bus or you could have been walking somewhere. And they said some kind of lie behind your back. And this is from some kind of church. This would have been between the ages of 15 through 21 years old. So think about who was in your life between those ages, right? Aries would be like a father figure, that's an emperor card would be like a father figure. Somebody took one look at you and basically sized you up to something, right? Like maybe you should just be local. There's something about you should never be able to travel the world, like you're not going to have a lot of opportunities or something like that. But something happened, in somebody's teenage years where somebody's growth was stifled in their teenage years. And somebody may not even known about it, but somebody from a church did something. They just looked at your physical stature or your physical something and just decided to tell some kind of lie about you behind your back, but they're behind something. And a lot of people may just now be figuring something out, like just now just be kind of figure something out, like who knew, like somebody maybe just now trying to figure out like why some kind of growth was stifled, or like who was behind some kind of lie that was told on you, like in terms of your travel. But something was done behind an Aquarius's back as well. And Aries did something behind an Aquarius's back at a church. So now the light is shining on something. Now the light is shining on something. 2 and 6 is 8. Yeah. Somebody likes to play games. See this right here? Like use family members as pawns. And Aries. See this right here, this checkered floor right here. Somebody has a red shirt So this could be a blood relative or not. It could just be a spirit of a person, right? It could be whether they blood relative, family, or friend, family, or not blood relative, family, somebody married into something, whatever. But it's a spirit, it's a type of a particular type of a spirit of basically energies making some kind of an impulsive move based on your first house, based on your first house. And so find out what your sign is in your first house. So first house is about self and personality. So personality is like your first house will be opens the show. It describes our earliest circumstances, how we're received into life. Your planets here, the signs they occupy, the sign on the cusp of the first house is like how you approach all new beginnings. So basically like your appearance, your physical body, sense of identity, first impressions. So it's like somebody's first impressions of you in an Aquarius. Basically, like somebody had some kind of first impressions and wanted to play games. Wanted to play games. Um, so it could be a number of people, but the energy is a church or a mosque or a temple and an Aries playing games, like with somebody's son. Like so, something a light has been shown on something. Something has come to light. And again, a prayer warrior who has been praying for you has been praying that something comes to light. Like, where is all of this coming from? Like, what is all this? What's been going on behind someone's back? What has been going on behind someone's back? Something about your sixth house as well, right? Second and sixth house. So, sixth house, speaks to um, um, your health and your well-being and service and routines and rituals and daily work. And so the sixth house is a house of work and service. Here we humble ourselves to task at hand, daily routines, duties, maintenance that put bread on the table, keep your body and mind in good working order. So it's like family members, whether they're blood relatives, married into or whomever, it's a type of a spirit that feels like um, they do stuff, whoever these energies are just do stuff behind people's backs. They feel like somebody's moving on, they're going through some kind of transition in life, and they do shady stuff behind people's backs, whether it's family doing it to family or being married into family to stop people from expansion, right? Like you see how big this window is, like expanding their mind, expanding their travel, expansion, going from traveling by bus to traveling the world, like traveling the globe, right? So let's see if we can stop somebody. So it's almost like if I can't do it, then I'm gonna stop you from going too. But I'm gonna stop you. The earlier I can stop you, the better. The more I can cause more problems behind your back. Like basically I'm trying to, if I can restrict you as much as I can. And so this right here, the wands energy would be like between the ages of 15 through 21. So if it was let's say for instance you have a parent that like you raised by a single parent or like co-parenting or something like that, and somebody was in a relationship with somebody, it could have been that person seeing you as competition. And this is going to be very important for people who are parents that have who are in a relationship, like maybe you got married again or like remarried, being careful that people don't see your kids as competition and they're doing stuff behind your back to stifle your own kids' growth, right? Because somebody absolutely wanted someone to be restricted from traveling, for being able to travel, and you can't even figure out why you getting stopped at airports, or you can't go here, you can't go there, and why people getting separated from each other, and how come you on some kind of a list. This energy just been doing the most behind people's backs, playing games, right? Don't want somebody to expand, baiting people into stuff, switching up. I mean, just literally just doing the devil's work behind people's backs. Yeah. So yeah, if you were between the ages of 15 through 21, somebody was definitely if you were if I mean hopefully it wasn't your own parent that was jealous of you. Um or other family members that were jealous, that would even make a phone call, or friends that would play some kind of prank to stop you from being able to travel, whether it was local travel or, like somebody calling law enforcement on somebody between the ages of 15 through 21. This could have been somebody's friends or family members doing this, but it's a particular type of a spirit where people would lie about you behind your back just to restrict you from going anywhere. Anytime you want to expand, if you're talking about expansion, you want to travel, or you want to, you got big ideas, you want to do this, you want to do that. And so they do stuff like baiting you into stuff to stop you from traveling. So source is saying you can't talk about your big plans with just anybody. And that's what source is trying to help somebody do. But somebody did something behind, this is what you and an Aquarius have in common. Somebody did something behind you and an Aquarius's back to bait you and an Aquarius into something because they heard expansion. And somebody felt like, okay, you were going to leave somebody behind, and okay, let's repeat, right? Here's a Four of Pentacles here, and so somebody feels like they're holding on to something. Here's the in a wallet or a purse or something like that. They feel like, so you're trying to be more conservative with your time here. Here's the Four of Pentacles here, and trying to be more structured when it comes to your money and being more conservative with your time. But yeah, I feel like somebody is now, as a prayer warrior, starting to just pray and ask source, to one, you're going to start pouring more into yourself. Think of it this way. Like when you're around energies who are causing you a lot of anxiety, right? You may get thirsty. Your physical body may get thirsty. You may start eating a lot. So you're putting on extra weight because really you're thirsty, but you feel like you're hungry, right? You may feel like you're picking up your drinking more caffeinated drinks, right? More coffee, more tea, caffeinated drinks. You're more dehydrated. So you're not really thinking clearly. This is what all this fire is about. People are rushing you to make a decision about something. You can't even process your thoughts. So you easily baited into things, and you can't even make a decision as to how in the world did you get baited into something, right? A lot of stuff that's going on behind your back, going on behind other people's backs, conversations, because you and somebody are kept apart, and people are not knowing, like, how do these two like not know certain things? You and somebody may not know certain things, so things are being, and people are talking behind you and someone's back, right? So here's the King of Wands here, while someone is just waiting to just pounce, just waiting to pounce, right? So as a prayer warrior, source wants you to stay enlightened, stay enlightened, stay in the light, meaning um, stay enlightened in your spirituality in terms of prayer. Like I gave people like Psalms, like over there. The book of Psalms is a really good book to really read on a regular basis. Proverbs is a good book. If you read the Bible or whatever spiritual book, I'm not trying to push anything on anybody, but stay enlightened, meaning talking to people who want to keep you enlightened, people who are being shady or talk about people behind their back. Source is saying to you, mm-mm. But the main thing to calm your anxiety is keeping yourself watered. Keeping yourself watered, getting out, getting proper sunlight. If you're confused about something, you're going to go straight to source, which is going to give you the most clarity on anything, right? Yeah, somebody encountered two dark magician energies, two types of dark magician energies who felt like something was their way or the highway. And so in hindsight, somebody's wishing they had just walked away from something in hindsight when two other energies walked away from you, when you really felt like you needed these energies. You feel like two energies walk, you're like, okay, but somebody had eyes in the back of their head. Somebody knew when they walked away, they like, mm-mm. They had a feeling about something. They had a feeling about something. So they went into prayer warrior mode. So here's the Queen of Swords here. So somebody was there fanning the flames, you know, So I'm just saying it's also bringing you to a point too of just vibrating on a higher frequency too, just kind of keeping your vibrations high within yourself, knowing that there's greatness in you. So when people try to bring you down to a lower frequency, saying that you're not smart enough, you're never, going to be anything other than where you are right now, that you don't have enough education, you don't have this and that. Yes, you do. You have North Node, your 10th house, a purpose, the purpose that source put inside of you. And so the sooner you know what your purpose is, and even if you have kids, telling them whenever you learn, if you learn today, you're not behind. Okay. You learn whenever you're supposed to learn the information or gain wherever you get the information from. That's when you start your journey and say, okay, because it's going to feel like an acceleration, because it's going to feel like, oh, wow, things are being sped up, because that's where you were always meant to be. That was the source. That was your purpose for being here on planet Earth. Things will start just making sense. And however you get there, so it's saying, okay, well, yeah, your journey may have been unique in a way that other people got there on their journey, on their path, but you had to take all of that route to learn that you were a prayer warrior. You had to take that route to learn that you're a prayer warrior. Like you had to be apart from somebody to learn that you were a prayer warrior. And so these energies can't judge you. None of these energies can stand in judgment of you, because they were baited into something too. All of these energies, all these players in this were baited into something themselves. Every single energy in here that wanted to judge you were baited into something. Some of these energies are playing God. They were basically saying, they're going to control your destiny behind someone else's back. So here we have the Page of Swords here. So whatever anxiety you may have been feeling about something, whatever ideas you thought people had about you, whoever you are, doesn't matter. So it's saying all that's coming to an end. All that's coming to an end. Somebody's been feeling like they're walking on eggshells and people talking about you behind your back. People talk. That's where you can keep your vibrations high. That's how you're going to send the spell work back. That's how you close out the cycle in love. People will be talking about you, but in hindsight, somebody's wishing they had walked away sooner from something, right? But a lot of people feel like that's how source is balancing out the earth. The entire planet is under judgment. I'm telling y'all, the people you don't think are under judgment are under judgment. Everybody who's throwing their rocks and hiding their hands, source is saying they are under judgment too. They may not be saying it. It may not look like it. Everybody is under judgment, for real. That's literally everybody. So everybody has a generational cycle chain and curse that they need to break. So that's what, so the sooner you can start praying and saying, okay, God, what is my assignment? It doesn't matter if you're 99 years old watching this channel. If you're still breathing, it's something for you to do. So it's just saying, okay, the sooner you get into that, what is my assignment here on planet Earth to do? Okay, show me in the way that I would understand best. Source will show you if it's a burning bush, a talking donkey, through the cards, through a sermon, through tarot. However, source is going to best get it to you through a song, a painting, anything. However, source needs to get, it's going to get to you. So that's how you can close out cycles in love. Nobody can stand in judgment of you. You were blindsided by something, and who knows what you were blindsided by. But your ancestors have always been in your ear too. Yeah, somebody called the police on somebody when they were a teenager and lied on you behind your back. Wow. Here's the 10 of Cups here. Anything to stop somebody from getting to their North Node. I'm trying to tell y'all, listen, what was done in the dark comes out in the light. These energies have done the absolute most to stop you from getting to your North Node. So if people felt like you and somebody like music, and that was going to get, that was your North, if people felt like this was your career, and it really could have been a vocation. If they felt like it was your career, though, and they felt like they could stop your career, that's exactly what they were going to attack. That's why source, you hear people say you can't tell everybody everything, right? So you got big dreams, right? This might not even be your north node. Music may not even be somebody's north node. That's why I say in my cards all the time, find out what your north node is. But some people will study your birth chart to find out what your north node is to stop you from whatever it is. So if your north node involves traveling, that's exactly what they're going to jump on. Because there's a reason why people don't, they want you to stay local. They don't want you to go global. But there's so many ways of going global. If you're on social media right now, you're already global, world wide web. You see what I'm saying? So source is trying to tell you, if you're on social media right now, this is innovation, right? This is the year we're in right now. If you're on social media right now, you're seeing that you don't have to travel to a different country for your music to get out. You have the internet. So what the enemy meant for evil, source is turning around for everybody's good. These energies are under judgment because these energies have tried to stop you and other people from trying to get to your north node. You can't stop what source is already predestined for you to be. Just like you couldn't stop them from trying to get to where they're going. Why would you want to? That's why you're closing out cycles in love. You wouldn't want to. So you don't need to link up. You don't need to hook up. This number 8 right here, you don't need to hook up. You don't need to link up. You just need to detach and leave that behind. There's nothing else to talk about. People doing stuff behind your back. What else are people doing behind your back that you don't know about? Yeah. So here we have the 5 of Wands again. Still baiting stuff. Still talking about people behind their back. So it's just saying, as far as you're concerned, you're not interested in that. You're not a teenager. If you're tuned into this channel, I mean, you could be 18, 19, 20, 21, but at some point, somebody is going to no longer be motivated by people who talk about people behind their backs at all. Just period. Even if you're familiar with something, right? You could be familiar with something, but being familiar, remember when we're talking about like doing readings and stuff, something could sound so familiar to you, could almost seem like, okay, somebody is on your street. Like, for instance, let's say this right here. Um, let's say I don't know you personally. I'm just reading the cards and you're talking to a camera. Let's say, for instance, this story of somebody that maybe somebody's um, dad dated, that called the police on you behind your back, right? Let's say somebody's dad or mom dated, let's say they not together, or your parent, let's just say your parent dated and somebody called the police on you behind your back in your teenage year. They took one look at you and said, okay, that person is never going to amount to anything. And they were competing with you, and decided they're going to call the police. They want to restrict you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. They didn't like you. They didn't like something your parents said if they weren't together. So they're going to try to restrict you. They're going to take it out on you when you was a teenager in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Well, guess what? That can apply to a lot of people, as y'all see in the comments section, right? People will like complete strangers. They don't know you. They don't know your story, and they'll put a comment below. And they'll be like, "Oh my God." So if you're on a particular frequency, it may resonate with your story. Yeah. So it may resonate with your story. So somebody else's truth could be the exact same as your truth, right? Because a lot of people are down to earth and a lot of people are relatable. That's what this is, down to earth and relatable. But see, you'll know if it's yours, if it's not just what is familiar. There has to be very specific details that know, okay, this is somebody hit something, like this something somebody else would not know. And so even with technology, okay, how you got to know specific stuff, like, okay, like certain things that nobody else would know. Right. So here's a Knight of Pentacles. So somebody's gonna be working on themselves. Somebody's gonna be working on themselves. Um, yeah, somebody's gonna be working on themselves, like in terms of just like that's you. You're gonna be working on yourself, like in terms of just like your spiritual journey, your spiritual journey, like just in terms of being baited into something, and somebody's saying that they got your back and all of this other stuff, and they want you to stand up, and speak or say something and all of this other stuff. You're gonna be telling your truth, whatever your truth is about whatever. So here's a nine of swords here. Something has been a nightmare for somebody. It's like soon as you walk through a door. Two and nine is 11. 11 is like as soon as you walk through a door and open up your mouth, something has been a nightmare ever since. So anyway, you're closing out a cycle in love. Whatever it is, you're closing out a cycle in love because you're on top of something in terms of your north node. I also feel like with all of this air right here, somebody's going to do less talking and more reading books and more journaling. This is what I'm seeing here. This is going to help you to process things. I'm telling y'all, the more and more y'all start, and this is not idolizing celebrities at all. I got to add that piece because soon as sometimes people say celebrities, they say, oh, I don't idolize. Nobody's encouraging anybody to idolize another human being or a statue or anything for that matter. But source is saying the more and more you read books as the people who are operating in their purpose, the more and more it's going to sound familiar to you. It's going to sound familiar. It's going to sound like, oh my God, I feel like this person knows my story. It sounds like we had the same exact story. Y'all would be surprised at how many people have come from divided homes. This is why these two wands are divided. They come from divided homes, and people have dated or married people who other people have been jealous of the kids. You would have been the kids have been jealous of the kids, and because they can't take it out directly on the other parent, they'll take it out on their kids. Something was taken out on somebody between the ages of 15 through 21. Somebody thought something was all fun and games until it was exposed. Yep. And they went right on back to worshiping like nothing ever happened. It's like nothing ever happened. Brought you and somebody all kinds of nightmares in your life. So you're closing out something. Here's a high priestess. Yep. Yep. You're on top of something. Mm-hmm. Yep. You're on top of something. Here's a justice card. Yeah, something was done. Somebody was showing that they were open enemy to you and someone in court. Somebody showed that they were an open enemy to you and someone in court. Justice card speaks to seventh house. Seventh house speaks to relationships. Traditionally denotes marriage, partnerships, but it also the idea of open enemies, quarrels, disputes. It is a house of contractual partnerships, but also of litigation. A deeper look reveals the interesting links between those things. So it's a projection. So, instead of people going from lying behind people's back, they just telling just all kinds of lies in court. That you were a nightmare and such and such and such. So they knew somebody knew as soon as you walked in the door, you were a nightmare. Because somebody imagine somebody saying that about somebody's child, if you're between the ages of 15 through 21, or like, let's say, for instance, if you lived with somebody, or let's say your parents moved in with somebody for a while, just temporarily, like in between, here and there, wherever you moved to, and somebody's saying it's the moment they took one look at you, you were going to be a nightmare. I mean, could you imagine just the energy? So you're thinking that you're lucky, but somebody looking at you like you feel like you're lucky that you finally getting away from being bullied. You could feel like you're in a nicer neighborhood. You could feel like you're just in a better place, and people just automatically judging you. First impression, you're a nightmare. You can just feel it. Oh boy, here we go again. Survival mode. Yep. And this inverted triangle right here lets me know the jealous lover. Jealous. Because they want their wishes fulfilled. Yeah, they want their wishes fulfilled. After you've already been through enough. So yeah, so something, this is where justice is in your favor. This is where justice is in your favor. Spiritual justice is in your favor. In other words, somebody will never have to go back to, these spaces again. Yeah. Somebody wants their wishes fulfilled. Sexually, they want their wishes fulfilled. Emotionally, they want their wishes fulfilled. Something done beyond. I'll have to go through this again. In survival mode. Sick, 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 sick. And it's not always sexually, just so we're crystal clear. It could be that, or it could be, someone playing mental games, mind games. Oh, you'll never amount to anything. Or why do you want to be that when you grow up? Because we're talking about sacral chakra. Or, so again, I don't want to put everything on sex. So something would be somebody say, oh, like let's say you want to be a musician. Why would you want to be a musician? Why would you want that? I mean, don't you want to, be a doctor, or don't you want to be an attorney, or don't you want to be something else? Or, there's no money in that. Here you go again in survival mode. Again, source is saying constantly stuff being done behind people's backs, constantly being a target. So you're closing out cycles in love and moving on. But thank God for prayer warriors and people who actually have spiritual gifts. Here we have make a list of pros and cons. And it's time to do the mirror work. Time to do the mirror work. People who actually use their spiritual gifts for good and not evil. Here we have somebody has not been completely honest with you. Listen to your intuition. Treat yourselves to a spa day, some of you all. Things are starting to flow to you like water. Yeah. You're starting your own right, meaning that everybody has a north node. You're closing out a cycle in love. Again, that's what it says, reiterating here. Yeah, somebody's dealing with toxic masculinity of somebody's ex, of your ex. Archangel Michael, the dispenser of justice, is with you. Yeah, the toxic masculinity could be with a man or a woman, someone who really believes that, like I said, men are better than women, or men are the rulers of something. Not, it's like they can't make a decision without a man. Instead of looking at divine masculine to divine feminine, there are some really good men out here who are very solid, high vibrational. So there's definitely no man bashing, not on this channel. And there are women out here who are balanced out, who are like, as soon as they feel like somebody feels uncomfortable in a setting, they're out. They don't care. They out. They out. Here you have the gift of precognition. This is foreknowledge. So Angel Raphael, the healer and protector of travelers. Yeah, so you're protected. Wherever you travel, you are protected. But again, somebody will be developing a prayer life where, you are protected. But yeah, when people are using their gifts for good, they're shining a light on, people who could be in survival mode. People who could be always in the background, just kind of lurking, like, over your shoulders, just hovering, ready to just leap and pounce, where you can't even be on the phone without sounding like you're scared or nervous, or, hurried up and scared, or every time somebody calls, you can't answer on the first time. You got to call people back. You're nervous. People who have been in survival mode, who have been in abusive situations, recognize that. So whoever you are, you could be a man or woman, it doesn't matter. Here's to speak it into existence. So it's saying you're speaking healing into existence. Here we have pride. Somebody has a spirit of pride. The demon is Lucifer, throat chakra cleanse. You are speaking your truth. You are learning to speak your truth. Somebody wanted to treat you like they were a handler, and somebody picked that up right away. Somebody was treating somebody like they were a handler. So somebody is, getting into painting, and some kind of other creativity in terms of your creativity. So yeah, the thing about having a North Node is that somebody's just tapped into their creativity. But somebody knew who was behind something when someone was on the beach and they got separated in their flights and they could not fly at the same time when somebody else flew. Somebody knew um, who made a phone call to the police, or at least kind of who was behind something. Not at the time, like you can't necessarily put your finger on something, like who could have called the police on somebody. Like, again, jealous. Y'all parents, if you're separated or something like that, and whether you're a man or woman, pay attention to that. If you're dating a woman and she's jealous of your daughter or your son, she needs to go. I'm serious. I ain't no judgment, no nothing. But they between 15 to 21 years old, they gotta go. They have got to go with the quickness. And if it's a man that's jealous of your son gotta go. Gotta go. Y'all just figure it out. Work 2, 3 jobs, whatever. But they gotta go. Let whoever judge whatever. They gotta go. These people out here jealous of people's kids. Nope, they gotta go. They need to seek therapy for that. You need jealous of somebody's kids. That's crazy. Some people must be out of their mind. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here in your cards. But yeah, these energies have been trying to stop you or block you, baiting and switching for a long time. From seeing the world from. They just want you to see like a bird's eye view. Like they want you to see. Want you to. Source wants you to travel, like see the whole world. Wants you to go global. But when you're around people, misery loves company. Misery loves company. But that's something that y'all really need to pay attention to. If y'all have kids, and even if y'all separated, be careful of who you let your kids around, because these people out here, grown adults, be jealous of people's kids. Don't let pride get in your way. Somebody has a moon in Leo, and now somebody has a moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. Yep. Be jealous of people's kids. So be still. But it's already swung back around. It's already swung back around. That spell work has already come back. That is a shame. This is a shame. This is a religious organization too. So it looks like whoever you are, this has been happening for years. This has been happening for years to you and someone else, to split you and someone apart. This is absolutely ridiculous. So if this was like a father and a son, and your father had like girlfriends or ex-wives or whatever it could have been, and if their family had like some kind of like influence or power, and like let's say the daughter, got upset, if it was your dad or whatever, or your father, and they wanted to, get back at the both of you all, or do something to mess up your future. They could have, made a couple of phone calls. It's a particular type of a spirit. Or if it was like, if it was daughter and mom or whoever, that side of the family could have tried to mess up the other side of the family. Like it's a particular type of a spirit that does that. It can even be within your own family. It could have been your uncle that didn't like your mother, or it could be an aunt that didn't like your mother or father, or it could be, y'all get the point. It's a particular type of a spirit that did not, somehow you were on the receiving end of something, where you and somebody was on the receiving end of um not being able to travel, but you will be pulling out a sword and cutting people off. Because these energies wanted you to meet some kind of unfortunate end behind closed doors. They want y'all to have a 10 of swords, bleed out behind closed doors, be so stressed out and depressed. Yeah, something has definitely made somebody a stronger prayer warrior. Here's the Queen of Swords here. They had no emotion behind it. So yeah, so you will be initiating a message, very, very clear. When you cut these two energies off, these two types of energies off, you will have no emotion behind it. Yep. Allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. Mm-hmm. This energy wanted to be center of attention. It's like this energy wanted to be somebody's mother. Whether it's a man or woman, somebody wants to be somebody's mother. Like somebody wants to be a nurturer, in someone's life. They want to mirror this energy, by trying to stop something. Sick, 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 sick. 8 of Cups here. Somebody's just walking away in total disillusionment, just like unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. At these lovers. Digmatized. Or vaginatized, whatever it is. Whatever it is, under some kind of a spell. But so you're making some kind of a decision. You're making some kind of a decision, is what I'm seeing here in your cards. Queen of Swords here. You're making some kind of a decision. You're putting emotions to the side and you're getting very logical in your thinking, but all emotion to the side. You're keeping it very high vibrational. But I see you being successful. Double success. Yep, the world. This is a tradition for somebody. Somebody is setting boundaries, very firm boundaries, and you are enforcing these boundaries from now on. You are enforcing boundaries. This is somebody's new tradition here. Yep. 3 of Pentacles here. Yep. Some kind of I see somebody in a leadership position here. I see somebody in a leadership position because you work really, really hard. Like being a team player, like somebody has built something from the ground up, like in terms of yourself, like in terms of building yourself up, just from the ground up. And, but whoever this was, like, doing something on you from your teenage years, just like, I mean, it's like the same thing happened to somebody's parent in their teenage years when they wanted to expand, when they wanted to dream bigger. Like this is generational. Yeah, High Priestess. Yeah, somebody had put a curse on somebody. People put curses on people, when they're trying to expand, when they're trying to dream bigger, people putting curses on people. So again, you're closing out cycles in love and you're moving on. You're moving on. Closing out cycles and moving on. So learning how to speak things into existence, and that's what I'm seeing for you. Number 12, I am a visionary. So creativity is a driving force in your life. Your imagination is rich and you are able to express your feelings and in insights in unique ways that others can benefit from. Yeah. Something about this feels necessary but unnecessary, actually, because it's starting out with fire, almost like it's a competition, like it's a teenage competition, in all of this. That's what it looks like in the cards here. It's almost like when I look at this, it's almost like, let me see the cards here. Yeah. It's almost like somebody doesn't want to let go of something. That's what this looks like. It's like two people don't want to let go of their sons. That's what this looks like. Hmm. Yeah. Because something has come to light. Yeah, something has come to light. So I don't know what people's ages are. Yeah, I don't know what people's ages are. But this, I think this like is in spiritual court though. Yeah, this is mhm. So I don't know what this is about though. I don't know what this is about. Because I'm trying to see some, because I see some kind of a partnership in business and or in love coming across your path. So somebody could be, this could, I mean, so when I say suns, okay, like your sun shines, like it's like it could be a lot of things when I look at your cards here. It could be like, people not wanting to kind of sort of let go of like, you know, because I see new and exuberant love coming across somebody's path, right? It could be somebody, trying to stop somebody from dreaming big. So they're going to stop everything in their life. It's like somebody just doesn't want, they want to keep people chained to them, like they own people, whoever these energies are, and they doing stuff behind people's back. Is like, and this is what you and Aquarius have in common. It's like people like you want to love who you want to love. So people are doing stuff behind your back, telling lies behind your back, getting you involved in stuff. You can't even live your life. You can't be successful. You can't celebrate your happiness. Like you can't. So you have your intuition. Like you got two high priestess gifts here. You've actually, you and somebody have high priestess gifts, right? But you're also, you went from like high priest. I mean, hierophant. Like many, you used to be a person who just got, you got to see something to believe it. But now somebody actually feels like, okay, they believe in love again. Like somebody believe in love again. Like, that you would have somebody's back just the same way that they would have your back. Like somebody believes in love again. So whoever you are, somebody feels like, somebody would actually be the stand up person to you like you've always been for everybody else. So maybe you believe in love again because somebody was there for you the way that you like you've always been for everybody else. Like somebody would work that hard for you, like you've been there for other people, right? And so that could make you feel like you in love. You feel like you believe in love again in partnerships in your personal and your professional life, And so those are the people that you want to be around, whoever you are, whether you're a man or woman, don't really matter. But all these people that's misery loves company and jealous of people who want to dream big and all, to the left. I mean, for real, these energies, whoever they are, they got to go. They have got to go. They got to go. Number 3, I am charismatic. Expression comes naturally to you. You are very skilled at communicating your thoughts through conversation and creative pursuits. You are able to get others on board with your ideas. Yeah, you're taking some kind of inspired action. Here you have 3, 3. There's many different ways of getting to your North Node. 1 and 2 is 3, and then we have 3 here. There's many different ways. And so however you get to your North Node, you're getting to your North Node. These energies wanting to stop somebody from traveling all over the world, from being in harmony with yourself, because of they were judging you by who knows, could have been judging somebody by who you love, I mean, mm, 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 by whom somebody that you love, who they love, so they trying to stop everything, doing everything behind people's backs. That's nothing but hate. That's people who close out cycles in hatred. Hopefully y'all get the point. People who close out the cycles in hate, they constantly, they stay doing stuff with their families behind people's backs. It's a spirit. It's a particular type of a spirit. They love taking people to court. They love doing this kind of stuff. They literally get dressed up to go to court, to take people to court, to sue people behind their back. You don't even know you got open cases. I mean, they just always don't. Always, like I said, you be cutting people off permanently. Here we have radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so that you can do so what's needed can come next. Absolute craziness. Just filled with hatred. Filled with hatred. They would rather believe a lie over the truth. Even if the truth was sitting right in their face, they would rather believe a lie. Because they can't control it. They can't control you, can't control whomever. They would rather believe a lie over the truth. So I do see somebody in a partnership in business and or in love. I do see somebody in a leadership position. Like I said, I'm seeing justice in somebody's favor. You're not letting pride get in your way. I'm closing out a cycle. Yeah. Yeah, somebody is fire hot mad. I don't know who that is, but somebody mad, child. I do not know. But as far as you're concerned, you're moving on. You're moving on. Like I said, closing out cycles in love. And like I said, hopefully everybody got a chance to see the information. If you want to go like check for information, just check the community board, on my YouTube channel. Check the community board. I try to put information up there about, like spirit animals up there, because I know a lot of people going hiking and camping and kind of getting out for the summer, wherever you are in the world, like people getting out there, in the wilderness, and you want to know what kind of animals you come up against, just like there's the dark side to these animals, right? And the moon phases, you want to know, right? You want to know in case you encounter any of these animals. I put information about cord cutting ceremonies up there. You got information in the shorts about moon rituals. I try to keep people on the light side of the moon. We do not practice dark moon magic on this channel, but I want to keep you all on the light side of the moon. As much information as possible. The information is out there. I encourage everybody to pull their birth chart. We have an information channel where the whole birth chart series is over there. We got information about incubus and succubus spirits over there. So if you're new to the channel, I try to give you as much information as possible. But I also encourage you to please do your own research. This is not just one way or the highway. Do your own research. Do your own research. This is where everybody's learning. Everybody's learning and teaching each other. If you have some information you feel like you can share with other people, drop some comments below if you feel like you can share information that's going to help other people as well, right? This is the World Wide Web. You want to start your own YouTube channel? Start it. Start your own YouTube channel. There's plenty of help out here. People can mentor you. People can help you if you want to start your own YouTube channel. So don't be afraid to start your own YouTube channel. Before you try to market on someone else's channel, please do them the courtesy of asking first. But yeah, I mean, nothing is stopping you from operating, going to your North Node. Nothing. But somebody definitely is a prayer warrior. You don't need somebody to pray with you. That's the quickest way of familiar spirit. They want you to pray openly because they want to know what you trying to expand and what you trying to grow. You can pray by yourself. And somebody asking you, what do you need me to pray for specifically? That's an energy who is coming under the guise of prayer. If I'm interceding on your behalf, I don't need to know exactly what I'm praying for. I'm asking that God's will be done in your life. I don't need to know exactly what I'm praying for. I'm asking that God's will be done in your life. I'm standing in agreement with whatever you prayed. All of these people who need to know exactly what to pray for what? Why? Nosy. So Source is trying to help somebody to understand, that you're going to start remembering some things that you heard, that's not going to be confusing to you anymore. It's going to start making sense to you. You heard these things very early on in your life, but it's going to start it's going to come back to memory to you. That's like, okay, it's starting to make sense. Starting to make sense. You want to start going with sources flow. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. All right. Bye.